Now, we've been talking about the environment, and I'd like to discuss with you one or two general questions related to this. Let's talk about living in the countryside. What are the disadvantages of living in the countryside?
In general, living in countryside might be inconvenient because the transport is not very well. Like you have to buy some special transportation, and like underground or taxi is difficult to find. I think that is disadvantage for living in countryside.
And what are some ways people change or affect the environment when they live in the countryside?
So, do you mean what kind of impact they did?
Yes. What effect do people have on the environment when they live in the countryside?
In my opinion, I think they buy a private car for themselves and to build a nice garden or like that.
Mm-hmm. And do you think the private car has any effect on the environment?
Yes, actually, some they have good effect. Or I think maybe the disadvantages more than advantages, because maybe it can make a lot of pollution.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you think people damage the environment more when they live in a town or when they live in the countryside?
I think in general, city or they live in a town is more effective on the environment because the lot of people living in town, and also like a traffic jam or lot of rubbish in the street. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do you think they create a lot of pollution in the city?
Yeah, I think so. Because the pollution is a very big number, and the environment have to become very not very bad, because a lot of people they produce a lot of rubbish.
Let's go on to talk about nature and modern society. Is it possible for people to have a high standard of living without seriously damaging the environment?
Sorry, could you please repeat the question?
Is it possible for people to have a high standard of living without seriously damaging the environment?
I think it's possible. It depends on wherever you live and how you control your family or you to effect on their environment. For example, if you own a car and you don't want to damage the environment, maybe you can choose by cycling to work or cycling to school.
Mm-hmm. So you think cycling is better than driving a car?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
Because it's less pollution and it's convenient. Like Cambridge, there's a lot of people they choose cycling to work because Cambridge, a lot of people live there, and at rush hour, there are a lot of traffic jam. The cycling is a good idea to use less hour to get their work.
Do you think humans can live in a completely unnatural or artificial environment?
Unnatural.
Unnatural, without nature.
I think some area they already live in this kind of condition, but I don't think it's a good idea to live without any nature.
Why not?
Because the people need breathe very fresh air, fresh atmosphere, and they can't live without nature. It's bad for their health and also bad for their growth.
All right. Thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking test.
Thank you.
Thank you.